Hey residents, in today's episode we discussed a multitude of different topics. We discussed Jerry Springer, who is sadly no longer with us, and we talked about whether he was a legend in daytime TV or not. One thing's for sure, he was definitely a legend in the DNA test business, trust and believe.
Jerry.
Jerry. Come on.
Jerry. Yeah, man.
He had moments in everyone's childhood, like
Big time. Like, what are you talking about? Is that even a question, bruv?
See, Jerry Springer,
Yeah.
an absolute legend. And it's not often I give that title to certain people, but he's a legend and he's definitely part of my formative years of getting into presenting and wanting to be a presenter. There was a time when I worked in hairdressers when by routine we would watch Jerry Springer, Geraldo, Ricky Lake, Sally Jessy Raphael, and then the Queen Oprah. But Jerry Springer definitely the king of the talk show, like the debate and the ratchetness and all that stuff. And I didn't know, I was researching, he on his show, is where Talk to the Hand was kind of made popular.
Oh, really?
And that was for kids. That was a thing, Talk to the Hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was sad with Jerry, because 78 doesn't seem old enough to like pop your clogs and that. And he looked quite good as well for his age. So you would have thought he would have been around a little bit longer.
Did he have
Apparently
the C word?
he had, he did. But not for long. So in some ways, that's a better ending in it. At least he didn't suffer too much. But I love Jerry. I'm such a huge fan.
Yeah,
that's like our childhood.
It was. Jerry was excellent.
Definitely a
I did
legend.
see comments where they were trying to compare him to Kevin Samuels. They were like, "Oh, you're sad about Jerry Springer, but you're not sad about Kevin Samuels." And I'm like, it really is not the same thing.
It's not the same, and those Samuelites are really annoying. It's like they like pipe up with absolute anybody that dies, they're there in the comments, like comparing. It's like dude was only famous for like 2 years at tops.
Yeah,
It's not the same as Jerry.
It's not Jerry Springer. Come on.
Exactly, dumbasses.
Yeah, proper.
If you didn't know who Jerry Springer was, what was you doing? Like, even, what was it, Maury, Dr. Phil, all them man came after.
he set the blueprint.
He set the blueprint. He was the precedence, everything. Jerry Springer was that guy. But I wasn't that upset when he died, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh, he died.
It didn't. Nah, it was sad. I just think there must have been a lot of news on that day because the way I found out, for someone of what he brought to like entertainment and stuff like that, like allowing people to express themselves on TV from such an early moment, you would think that it would be news that he passed away. But
So what, are you saying that he was irrelevant?
nah, it wasn't like if you knew him, you'd have found out that he passed away. But I just thought it would be more news than what it was. But
Yeah, it was very quiet.
Yeah.
Very like, oh, it happened, don't know.
for
I don't think he was a legend, bro. I disagree.
Good for you.
Jerry Springer was very
Man
toxic.
grew up on this, brother.
It was very toxic for the black community, bro. It was very toxic. I think because of Jerry Springer, a lot of Americans' impressions on black people are due to the stereotypes he perpetuated on his program.
Wait, say that again. Because, there's Maury, what's that bloke from UK?
Yeah, but we're not talking about Maury.
What's that
You
guy's
asked me
name from
Jerry.
UK?
Jeremy Kyle.
Jeremy Kyle, you have all these people here. You're going to put all of that blame on Jerry Springer.
Yes, because
Not even Oprah. All of this is all Jerry Springer.
it's Jerry Springer.
Look at this
bro.
one
It's
here.
Jerry Springer.
Nah, I disagree with
Maury
you, boy.
came in a latter time.
Yeah, he's a legend. I must say though, I think I learned a lot about alternative lifestyles from Jerry Springer when I was young. Do you know what I mean? That was like a gateway into like things that were not the norm.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that I always found it fascinating. But it also the result in the fighting though.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I used to think the Americans were like wild.
Very scary, very
Yeah.
wild. And big up Steve. And it became a thing.
Yeah.
He created, he was a culture shifter.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a moment in time. Jerry, big up, rest in peace. Thank you for your service.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, let me tell you. Okay, to prove my point, he had an episode where a white woman came on with her boyfriend, a black boyfriend, and the boyfriend said, "I got something to tell you today." Do you know what he told her? "I'm black." I said, "What? Why didn't you tell me you were black with the N-word?" Yeah.
John, I understand you have a confession to make.
That's right, Jerry. I have something to tell the girl I love.
All right, let's bring out Tracy.
Tracy, you know I love you so much. But I have a confession to make. I'm black.
You're what? John, how come you didn't tell me you were black, you lying son of a bitch? You know how much I hate Nick. My family hates Nick. Oh, you disgusting.
You didn't see that he was black?
Jerry, I never even noticed. I was so totally in love.
Yeah. And come on, even you now. How can you defend that?
How's that Jerry Springer's fault?
Are you telling me you didn't know?
What do you mean? It was airing live.
Oh, come on, bro.
I don't know it for me. Yeah,
You had that example before you move on.
It's very nasty.
Come on.
I think it's all dependent on
I didn't know you were black.
When you talk about someone's a legend, I think it depends on what you're categorizing it as, yeah? In terms of the impact he's made, in the television world, bro, it's mad to say he's not a legend, bro. Either you agreed
that's fine.
what he done or whatever he didn't do.
Okay, that's
My other
fine.
thing is
That's
what he
fine.
done
Yeah,
is
for
legendary,
me,
bro.
all I can say, as a man that has a lot of what do you call it? What's that word?
Testosterone.
It's not testosterone is one of them, but I mean in the sense of principle. I can never profit off someone's trauma.
There we go.
Good for you.
Yeah, that's fine. Let me just explain to you.
Somebody's profiting off your trauma right now.
That's fine. They can do that. That's all right. But me, I don't profit off people's trauma. Yeah. So therefore, I would not do a show that brings people to come and talk about those.
Come and resolve their situation.
No, it's not resolving. We all know because you can resolve issues behind closed door.
But clearly, for them to go to these shows, listen to me,
that's
bro.
all right.
For them to go
but
to
me
these shows,
personally, I don't stand for that.
But
So
listen,
he's
for
not a
them to
legend
go to
me.
this show,
That's
clearly,
okay.
they wasn't able to resolve the differences amicably. That's why it escalated. It wasn't like the first sign of trouble, let's go to Jerry Springer. No,
I disagree.
these are usually situations that escalate.
You know how casting agents are, bro.
Yeah, I know.
They'll come and they'll take a bunch of the vulnerable people.
Oh, remember when he did the beads when they showed their boobs?
I think so.
Do you remember that? They used to do that. I'm sure it was a show. They'll be like, you know when he used to come and ask questions to the audiences, he would come up and after they would say, Jerry, I just want to know. And then they would be like, and after they would get Jerry beads. I'm not making this up. There was Jerry beads. I swear to you. And then when I was older, I realized it came from Mardi Gras in, what do you call it? You know, New Orleans, the festival thing. You know, they throw beads at you when you show your breast.
Nah, boy, what are you watching? What are you watching?
Listen, search it up, guys. Search it up.
I'm sure you. What? I don't know what you're watching.
Anyway, I just thought it was scandalous.
Yeah.
Jerry, I quit my job just to be here, and I want my beads.
You know what? I can't even remember. I do remember. I think, and I mix them all up because I know he definitely dealt with it. I know that Jerry definitely had the Ku Klux Klan on, and them things there, and he definitely had. Do you know what they? Yeah, because I watched so many. There are so many storylines blended.
I do remember. Hopefully, but by today's standards, I don't think this would run now. But it was. What's your face like
I'm
that?
scared already because I don't want to get cancelled.
But it was. I just remember like this girl, someone being cheated on, and the guy was actually cheating on her with another guy.
Oh,
yeah,
that was a lot of
I remember that
undercoverness being revealed.
Yeah. And that's when I
download
Yeah,
stuff.
understood. Like I learned that, but I was probably too young to be watching that. At
Me
the
too.
Time, to be honest, you had a job.
Child labour. It was a sweatshop. No, for jokes.
Do you remember, like, so before it was always like boyfriend, girlfriend shit, yeah?
Yeah.
But when it turned and it was all of the fighting started along,
Yeah.
like, I think...
Is that when Big Steve used to have to get in between them? It's
exactly.
Big Steve. It's Big Steve, isn't
I
it?
think it was Big Steve.
I'm sure it was
Something
Steve.
like that.
Yeah, something like that. And then he had his own show.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was just basically people warring.
nonsense.
But I think as soon as that fighting line came along, that was when it was great. Or like the guys on the down low and then they would bring out their gay partner. That was their best friend.
Yeah.
Those types of shits.
I can't remember any specific stories. It's kind of like all just blended into one big Jerry. Like people fighting and throwing wigs off and stuff like that.
Yes.
That's all I seem to really remember.
And his final thoughts.
Oh, his final thoughts were really good though. Because they were. It's like he was trying to like bring calm to the madness that we've just watched.
He was trying to Oprah the team.
Yeah.
I remember there was an episode where a guy, or a trans woman, is a trans woman, trans guy? Anyway, is a woman that is a guy, came out on the show and to his boyfriend and said, I'm originally a man. And he punched her up. And it took at least 2-3 minutes before security jumped in. You know what I mean?
How do you want people to control that though?
Why is that
I
happening
didn't know
on
it was
the
gonna
show?
punch her up.
Come on,
But
why
there's
is
shows
that
that people are not allowed to fight. They should have them security.
They do have security. Even one
No,
of
no,
us,
but
one
they
of them
don't.
saying-
Sometimes they let them
What was
fight.
it, Jared?
Sometimes they let them
on
fight.
his own show on Jerry Springer.
Steve something.
Exactly, they have security on Jerry Springer.
And then
But
there
some
was
of these men are very
okay,
quick.
what about this one? Let me see you defend this one. What about the show where he brought clans people on the show?
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
Without telling the black guy that was on the sofa.
What was the
purpose of
He's
that?
trying to give people different aspects. It didn't apply to us. That don't appeal to us. But there's mass. But brother, wait one. How come you watched every single episode?
Because
If you didn't like this
because
show,
my
how you watch
father,
every
my
single
father
episode?
was the one controlling the remote.
Yeah,
So me,
exactly.
I was
See,
just
your
sit there
dad
and
is the one with the brains.
But
Yeah,
that's
I
why
didn't
I
watch
don't
it like that, but the small I watch,
look,
it was
to
not.
show
It
you
was
that he's
not
not a
inviting.
legend. To be a legend, there are people that want to follow your footsteps. Who has come out?
Maury. What's the guy's name?
No.
What's the bloke from here again? What's his name?
Jeremy Carr.
Jeremy.
No,
All of these man.
no. I don't believe that those are the. Maury does paternity tests. That one I can allow.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
paternity tests in America are not cheap. So I can allow that somebody wants to let me
But
go.
you know
on
amount
there.
of madness that guy's going into.
Yeah, but that one's paternity. But Klansmen, have you seen Klansmen or Maury?
I have seen. No, I've not seen.
Exactly.
So what does that mean?
How many Jerry Springer did you watch?
Not that much.
You see,
Ah.
you were talking like
legend.
you're fast.
Legend.
Now
So
what's
Kali,
enough?
you know you watch it. It's our daily paper. It's our daily news. So whatever I say, you must follow.
I think, to be fair, them TV channels were not available to me. You get me? You had to go out your way to watch that as a kid.
What was that? The 999?
Yeah, not if your parent took away the Sky card, it's a long day.
I don't know what you was doing.
But
I was on 638 NTL.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway,
I was watching CBBC.
What I'm trying to say, obviously, is I remember moments of it, like probably just the fighting scenes. Just sometimes, boy, people really do be messing up.
The just crazy thing, you know, when they brought like the proper hillbillies out, or like the super like angry people, like proper New Jersey type of people.
Oh yeah. It's the accent for me.
I tried. Jersey. Anyway, Jerry Springer was just mad in general.
Nah.
But the thing is, the fact that we can't really remember anything is kind of saying that he was kind of past his time, man.
Yeah, but I think if like compared to like obviously Maury was a bit newer to us. And then Jerry had been doing his thing for a while, so by the time we were growing up, some of them were like reruns, like yeah. So it wasn't like we were watching it live.
It wasn't the same.